Okay, I had something, but I need to try that again. Hold on. My apologies. But, welcome to the Irish Hills. 1,400 acres in Lennox. No, I can't speak, but Lennox County. There you go. It plays site to the Michigan International Speedway, where along the front straightaway sits the 12, chase contenders for Season 8's BPNR chase for the Cup. Before we talk about those 12, might as well look on 13th to 20th, as those are the drivers highlighted in red. And their only goal now is just be the best of the rest. So currently Skylar Den holds that consolation prize, if you will. But yeah, we'll talk about more about the chase drivers as we're about to right now. Throughout 12 races, they have been selected based on points or wins. So, 12 drivers go in as the only 12 to have a chance at the BPNR Cup. Seed 1, Dunlap-Pratt, the regular seed champion, has the biggest advantage over the field, 16 points over second seed of Joshua Clements. Third, Tyler Aziz, who got 2 crown jewel wins this season at Indianapolis and at Charlotte. He starts off with 210, tied with Cole Rodriguez. Tied for 5th seed are Jolene Sims and Landon Lyle. Both of them been pretty consistent. Stevie Gibson and Daniel Rodriguez tied for the 7th seed, starting the chase at 2005. Seed 9, the workhorse ace in D2, and fairly consistent here in D1, Harry Crawford, the lone Aussie boy in the chase. Then the final driver to point their way in was William Gregory at 2,001 points. Now, the 2 wild cards. It was originally 2 other drivers, but we'll get to that later, as it is Brandon Carter and Alexander Hans. Both of them winless, but with those spots given up, they were next in line to inherit them. So they both start the chase with exactly 2,000 points. 29 points separates the first and last seed, and it's just a matter of these final 5 races to become a potential champion. So, before we get to about the race and all that, we are set to do a salute to Kyle Busch. You can see quite a bit of Kyle Busch related liveries, whether he was a GTR, RCR, Kyle Busch Motorsport, just anything in reference to the 41-year-old that we've lost too soon. Every league as of recent has done their own sort of salute laps. BPNR is no different. And with the open space around Michigan, they can go 4x4. As we await for those drivers to roll off the pit lane. Again, 4x4, it's 15 minutes of happy hour, so we have plenty of time to get this at least 2 or 3 laps of salute laps. Again, pretty much just waiting. I'm not gonna mention anything else till then. Just depends if Landon can go quick enough. And then They go very slowly, just trying not to hit each other, and they're going to remain in formation. Kyle Thomas Bush, born May 2nd, 1985, and his unexpected death of May 21st, 2026. He is a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and has held quite a few records, such as the most wins in the what is now known as the O'Reilly Series and the Craftsman Truck Series, as well as being ninth place in the all-times win lists. And he'll sit, if I can find it, the wiki, 63 wins. That would be his final win count. 10 in top 10s, he'll be 395, as well as 35 pole positions. Made his debut in 2004 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, with his most recent race being at Watkins Glen this year. His first win came while he was driving with Hendrick Motorsports, the number 5 machine at California, which is now pretty much turned to Amazon warehouse. And his last win in the Cup Series was at Worldwide Technology Raceway, driving for RCR. And O'Reilly, he got 102 race wins, 267 top 10s, and 70 pole awards. His first race was at 2003 Charlotte Motor Speedway, and his most recent also at Charlotte Motor Speedway in 2024. First win came in 2004 at Richmond, and his most recent in that division coming at 2021 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, back when it was just the traditional intermediate and not the Echo Park Speedway we have today. And the Craftsman Truck Series, finally, this is where he is also a team owner. He had Kyle Busch Motorsports, one of the more successful truck series programs in NASCAR history. As a driver, though, he mustered up 69 race wins, along with 148 top 10 finishes and 24 pole awards. His first start came at the Indianapolis Raceway Park in 2001, and his last race unfortunately ended up being his last win, also in 2026 at the Dover Motor Speedway, just a couple days prior to the All-Star race. As for the first win in that division, it was actually in 2005 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, so pretty much Charlotte seems to be a really good place for him. Call that place home. The Las Vegas, Nevada native grew up behind the shadow of Kurt Busch, who he himself is a Cup champion and NASCAR Hall of Famer. But Kyle was just a prolific driver. Everyone knew him, whether they loved him or hated him. They knew Kyle Busch one way or another. But regardless, he has proven himself to be a genuine NASCAR talent, worked his way up the ranks the hard way, and it's just sad to see him go too soon. Two-time champion, winning in 2015 and 2019 in the Cup Series, both of them driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. Whether it be the number 5, the number 18, or the number 8, Kyle Busch will be remembered within the NASCAR fandom. As they pull to a stop here, that should conclude the salute laps to Kyle Busch, the 41-year-old native tragically passed in May So now's the time they can kill each other, so... And they can finally go forth with the drivers meeting. So, the first race of the chase here at Michigan, we went over the 12 chase drivers. Those drivers on track will be recognizable with the red and the red splitter and spoiler, as well as a new banner to go with it, so you can easily identify the 12 drivers as we set forth in the final 5 races of the season. Kind of just sells you into the chase. You get the 2-mile big speedway, Michigan. It's going to be 66 laps. So 132, and that gets me to, I guess, a good point. It's like, this is such a weird distance, but it ultimately makes sense. It's 132 miles for today's race, and tomorrow's D2 race will be 102 miles. If you add those up, it'll be 234 miles, which is the same number that Kyle Busch has in race wins throughout the top 3 divisions of NASCAR combined. So yeah, 66 laps, and strategy says it could be a two-stop strategy. You could still save up, but I suspect if we get to the first set of green flag pit stops around lap 24 to 26, you can expect those drivers to utilize that 41 lap run and shorten it to just cut it in half to even 20 lap stints, I do believe. Yeah, 5 minutes left. That still took a little while, but every second is meant to savor the NASCAR legend, of course. Again, all these Kyle Busch liveries, just in reference to different parts of his career. Not gonna go over necessarily all of them, more or less just showcase them. He just played such a big influence to these guys and gals and people in between. It's more of a given that when a legend dies, you gotta run some sort of tribute to them. Whether it be just a simple sticker or a full-out livery, the thought is what counts the most. I know I've been going him over a lot, but I don't know, every league has been doing some sort of campus race, so it just doesn't hurt to keep yapping about him. So Donna Pratt heads into the chase as the regular season champion. Has 29 bonus points to go with it. He starts with a 16-point lead, has 4 race wins this season, so in my opinion, assuming he doesn't falter, at least in the early going, this is pretty much Dunn's championship to lose, the number 3 machine. Okay, so I actually do have these notes and I probably should mention them. So I did bring up the wild cards and how there were mixes in between them. So originally, at the conclusion of the Charlotte race, which is 2 weeks ago now, they were going to go to William Viola and Nicholas Bedimlik. So, shall explain why neither of them are in the chase now. For Viola, he has gathered up enough penalties to have an agreement between driver and admin team to have him suspended for the remainder of the season, so it won't make sense to waste a wildcard spot if you're just suspended, so that got handed over to Alexander Hunt, who had a heartbreak race at Charlotte, was pulling on a career race, just got taken on that final big one during overtime. So that explains why Hunt is in the number 49 car. As for Brandon Carter, why he got the second wild card, it originally was occupied by Nicholas Badimlik, the race winner from Dover, but since he is unable to make these final races, he gave his up. So, again, with the 49 and 101 cars being next in line, both of them occupied the two wild cards. So, instead of Viola and Bedimlik, it is Hunt and Carter. And I'll just say this, like, personally, I don't think either of them would do much. Maybe if Hunt has a repeat of Charlotte and just prove that his Charlotte performance wasn't a fluke. I just, um, I, be I believe I've been told that the server is ready to crash, so just had this up just in case. But, yeah, that's the way we want to start this chase. It may not, the server may not crash, I don't know, just in case. As we have 1 minute remaining. Okay, I've been lied to. I gotta blame Lyle specifically, so happy I got reset, so I guess it's just a theoretical, like, I've been talking over him. You can't hear him because for yells and you don't hear the team speak, especially if I'm the only one commenting, so whilst I've been yapping about Bush, strategies going to Michigan, the chase, Lanalao, the race admin has been yapping in my ear, and I just haven't been paying attention to it. So we'll wait a few more minutes to see if the admin team is ready to go. It's likely just that Salos, our server host for today, isn't present, and he usually runs the scripts and stuff, so just for restarts, black flags, because we do double file choose cone, there's going to be obvious penalties, so it is what it is. Just gonna have to wait on him. Suppose it gives me time to get my cams ready. That's fine. Yeah, just gonna have to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately. And I suppose it's just a minor note. It's not going to affect the situation about the chase too much, but there were also reports from Ryan Scarrett, driver of the number 71 car in this league. I don't think he's on track right now, but trying to find out. Oh, he is. So, apparently, if I have a nickel for every time this season has had some sort of issue regarding EXCs, this would be the second nickel. So Ryan Scarrett had an EXE where he was able to keep pace, and like the best way to like help you visualize it is that this was noticeable in Saturday's race from Talladega, where I4 was at, and Ryan Scarrett, despite being alone on the top lane, while the rest of the field were on the bottom 2 lanes, he was able to keep pace with them. Like, there wasn't anyone in front scared. He wasn't getting pushed. He was just able to maintain the speeds that the 2 lanes were doing when they had like 6 to 10 cars per lane. So that's an obvious disadvantage. But as for Scarrett's case, how this affects him in BPNR, it's only going to affect his Dover results from D1, and in D2, his Belle Isle result, in which he didn't do too well in either of them, so womp womp. He has been allowed to race, obviously, and continuing forth with the correct EXE, and it's just a reminder that you cannot use illegal EXEs. The general consensus is if you're not going to run the default EXE provided when you install the game, the community has approved uses of the Talamalin EXE, one that provides game performance improvements and does not provide any car performance nor reliability improvements, so it's the same across all clients and such. It's just a matter of connection and all that. That's the big difference between the Malin EXE and the default EXE. Right, but I believe we're set to go. Like, it's been effectively like 20 minutes now. We've been just stuck here. Finally, I get the message that we are ready to go. Should make sure everything in my end's correct. This is where the drivers have to step up their game, the admins have to step up their game, and it is no different for me in the booth. Righty, they are ready to roll off. Just gotta make sure everyone is gridded up. And, yep. Cycle up towards the front. I actually never went over the qualifying order. I should probably do that real quick. Aziz actually wins pole, that helps him out. Lyle, there's Chloe Griffins, haven't seen them in a while, as well as Zach Armstrong, Drivers, Clemens and Shmuda, Scarrett Gibson, Howell Dragons, Gregory, Cole Rodriguez, Hans, Daniel Rodriguez, Bell, Childress, Nick Grun, Miguel Reith, Treywick, coming back for a one-off, Crawford, Troxel, Rosadella Cruz, Sims, LaPrade, Shionome, Carter, Gonzalez, Wells, and Den. So that's 29 cars rolling off the grid right now. What should be a pretty fun Michigan race based on practice. It's going to be 66 laps today, 132 miles, a 2x wear, cup physics, and a possibility for overtime. As that is the standard here in BPNR. Race car dives in. The chase shall begin with Aziz and Landon Lyle on the front row. And we are on the way from Michigan. 1 complete. Aziz holds firm at the lead. Griffith moves up to 2nd place. I'm gonna have to get used to that name. Howell. I can't fucking speak today. Do apologize, but they're trying to make a move for 3rd. Land allow. And I was scared behind him, who tried sending a 3 wide, not able to do so. As he had been just seen towards the mid-pack, it's just 3-4 wide action. The big key around Michigan gets settled in, but with how big the track is, how wide the surface is, you could risk it moving up. Oh, there's a wreck! That'll be McGilby's a single car. Never mind. There goes Trainwreck and Brandon Carter and Skylar Den all collected. Caution is out. It is race back tonight. Given how big the track is, they should be able to move out of the way in time. Momentarily, Aziz lost the lead, but he's going to get it back. So it'll be Tyler Aziz, pole sitter, retaking the lead. And be Land Allow P2, Skeleton 3rd. And Griffith 4th place, and Howell 5th. So under caution number 1, and it comes at a very early point at the race. So let me try to find McGarry here, as he was the first car to go around. And I looked like he chopped up the 30 of Gregory. It's just very easy to do that, especially when you're trying to get someone in. Like, you want it to eventually... Might have been the 30 going up. Maybe look at the wheel. I mean, both of them are already side by side, so it's just tough call on that one. But down here, between Treywick and Carter, where Carter is just bulldozing his way past the McGarry spin, end up clipping the 54. Skylight didn't have nowhere to go on that one. So he and many others in the pit lane, as there's a wreck. That being including Hunt and Dragons. We'll check on that, but going to see who won off the pit lane. I believe it'll be Shmuda on 2 tires. And also 2 tires. Dunlap Pratt, he started towards the back, so definitely take advantage of the early yellow. As for right, these goobers wrecked. Trying to find out here. And just 4 wide off the exit, and the 78 was trying to, I believe that was, the 78 was trying to get past the, let me try, there isn't a good camera angle here, unfortunately. I believe he was worried about a 21 of Gibson up the road, that he didn't know that he was 4 wide and ultimately cut off all those people, unfortunately. So it is choose cone, which is right here. So we're set to go green as soon as we can. So 2 cars stay out actually, that being on the front row, Rosadilla Cruz and Ryan Scarrett. Then it is Dunlap Pratt and Joe Shmuda on 2 tires. Then row 3 on back, opting for 4 tires. That being occupied by Joshua Clements on the inside of Tyler Aziz. So in early yellow, this will set up a potential 60 lap run to the finish, 6-0. And just, I don't know about maybe 2 tires, yes, but I don't know. I don't think taking no tires is the way to go. They're just gonna fall back as early as probably not being able to keep themselves towards the front at the conclusion of this restart lap. But only time will tell. It'll be Scarrett leading us to green, and we are underway once more. And Tyler, I don't think he got a good jump. That's Armstrong in the number 90. The green Interstate Batteries car who is making headway. Oh, there goes Lane Lau. Oh, that's a big wreck down the back straightaway for the second BPNR race in a row. Shmuda smacks the inside wall. That is Jukushu Nome upside down. We'll check on that, but here is the race back. Ryan Scarrett on no tires taken during the previous yellow will be able to keep the race lead from Dunlap-Pratt. Then it is Joshua Clements, 3rd place. Come on, people. It's a started chase. Okay, this is not a good... just people bouncing off the wall, man. You know, might be better go on board. Bet the number 99 here. The Shmuda bounced off the wall, and Jelani doesn't know that. He thinks that there's 3 wide, but didn't anticipate the 50 to bounce off the wall and left the 99 with no room. Trying to check back here with Shunome. He's the car that is stuck upside down. The Hendrick car's throwback. And just nowhere to go. Gets hit from behind. And already on the roof. Gregory also collected this affects a good handful of chase drivers. Alex Hunt had slowed down. Cole Rodriguez is towards the back. So I've been told that there's a restart violation. I'm gonna have to ask who again because I couldn't hear it. So Juko had to tow back to the pit lane. In the meantime, Bill get his lap back. Scarab went down the pit lane this time, one of the few takers, and won't prove that big of an advantage as it's only 1 lap better, but it's Michigan, you might as well take that chance while we're having an early breakfast. Landon Lyle crash out of all time. So, lap 10 of the scheduled 66 laps. It is Dunlap-Pratt who leads after starting in the back, as if nothing happened during qualifying. Joshua Clements P2, Zach Armstrong in 3rd, the Rosa de la Cruz 4th place, Jolene Sims in 5th, Daniel Rodriguez P6, Chloe Griffiths P7, Vitality's P8, Dylan Legrand P9, and July Howell P10. I believe that's the card that got the restart violation, but I didn't get a answer. So, it is what it is. Set to choose this time round. And we'll go green on lap 12. It's just a familiar place for Clements. Unfortunately, he enters this chase as the second seed. Hasn't been able to win a race, but has proven many times that he can win races. It's just unfortunate circumstances that prevent him from doing so. Goes in as the highest driver to not win a race this season. It's still early, but I feel like the 92 car has some good speed in there. So he chooses the outside as a direct opposition to LePrade, the regular season champion. Be with Cruz and Armstrong, row 2. And Rodriguez, Daniel Rodriguez, that is. And Jolene Sims, row 3. And I just got confirmation it is indeed the 19 of July Howell who got that restart violation. I would check it, but we're about to go green. So that will be something I'll save for a turkey timeline, whether it be during a caution period or at the end of the race. Two cautions already today, and we're about to conclude the second caution period. It's going to be LePrade leading us to the green flag, much like he's done a good amount of times this season. Into the restart zone, and we are rolling once more. Three wide, that'll be for third temporarily, now up to fourth. That 3 wide battle. It'll be D-Dog who gets the best outcome for that through turns 1 and 2. And Jelani just slipping back. He's gonna try to pit now, serve his drive-through penalty. And there he goes. Gotta bog it down to 55. And with no draft help, he's going to get lapped one way or another. Along the outside, Clements is able to prevail, and he goes to the race lead. Dunlap-Pratt slips back to third place. Gets a push from Rosa. And they're up in the wall. They're gonna go for a spin. And hold the brake, hold the brake. Oh, he got clipped by the 78, but there's also a secondary, that being Joe Shmuda, number 50. And Landalaya also has an issue, his game tabbed out. Gets a little bit of a knock from Dragons, but no caution despite that. Well, I haven't been able to talk about Michigan, this model specifically. This is built off the 2019 MB variant, but this is an edit made by Jerry Cook. And the prolific top side, there's a wreck in the back, that being Steven Gibson. And Cameron McGovey's up to the outside wall. Third caution. There's Roman Gonzalez spinning as well. I saw someone else. So again, it is race back. Oh, third caution at lap 15. Here comes Armstrong for third on LePrade, not able to get anywhere with that. Well, nearly a wreck for, I believe that would have been 6th place between Negron and Crawford. But once again, race back is complete. Clements leads, Daniel Rodriguez 2nd, Dunlap Pratt 3rd. So quite a bit to look over. We're actually gonna go chronological order here and look back at the restart violation that the 19 was posted for. If I can find it. Here we go. So this is lap 6 coming into 7. Pace car is going 70. Just waiting. Going 73 by the time of the green flag. He shoots it down middle 3. And Lyle believes that is the sole reason as to how that caution was triggered, but it's like a 3 mph advantage, which is usually given slack through penalties, but I just don't really see it. So now to move forward, there was quite a few spins, one of them being, I believe oh yeah, Rosa, that's what it is. Try and find them. Give me a minute, I'm slow. Yeah, they get up on the grip line, that just the void grip line gets into the wall, spins them around, and just ultimately spins out from that. Not the first time I've seen them do it within this week. Happened last night in the Cars truck division. Well, not necessarily division, it's just one division, but still. And Shbuda, as a result, gets tapped from it. So, 60, fails to hold the brake, or just clips it in the rear, and around they go. And Lyle has this game had an issue. Gets a bump. Then over here is the actual reason for yellow. Bob's Gibson, one of the chase contenders. What did McAlvey do? What just happened there? Was it a push? It was a push. That would be for Ryan Scarrett. And while it is a D oval, it's effectively a mid-corner bump trap, and it should be avoided. And that'll be Scott. Then, oh, this is gonna be a hard leg to go on board with them. Hits the inside, shoots back up the track, and builds up more of a cloud of smoke. Really unfortunate. But hopefully we're caught up now, and I believe pit stops have already occurred. Might as well check just in case they did. Might as well take a look at that real quick. Well, the field is at 3 and 4. Riley Trawick wins off pit lane. He'll be Clement 2nd, D-Dog 3rd. And I believe a few of them stayed out as well. That being Brennan Carter, the only driver opting not to pit during this 3rd caution period. And 71 of Scarrett for triggering that caution, but the bump trap is penalized and will go to the rear of the grid. So Carter on worn tires chooses outside. It'll be Clements inside on 4 tires. Trawick on 2. lines up alongside D-Dog in row number 2. Row 3 has the Prad and Negron. And then it'll be Sims, and I believe that's Lau. Hard to tell with these angles. Now it's Harry Crawford, row number 4. Just a little bit of silliness between those two. So we haven't been able to get a proper green flag run. And hopefully we can actually develop one, as we're about to complete 19 laps of the scheduled 66. And the field will be in control of Brandon Carter, one of the wild card drivers for the chase. Pace car will dive in, and we'll see what the 101 is capable of. Haven't done much, didn't do well at Charlotte when trying this strategy, but it doesn't hurt to try. Comes Harry Crawford making moves. This is now for 3rd place. Very inside. And while Carter slips back, it'll remain side by side for 3rd. There's also a battle for the lead. Then I need to able to prevail on the outside. And likewise, the ground was able to defend against Crawford for 3rd place. So after restarting on the front row, Carter falls back to 6th place. And Treywick isn't doing much better on 2 tires. And just stuck in the inside lane, not the preferred lane, around this variant of Michigan. Who's joined the party will be Cole Rodriguez. Side by side with Carter and trying to follow Dunlop Brad. Here comes Negron for 3rd place, the highest non-chase contender. Just haven't had his way during the regular season, but there's still something to prove. Could ever him get 13th place in of the season once the season concludes. Right now sitting within the top 5. But that rank of the highest regular season driver, no more. That will go to Chloe Griffith once more. Number 34 really showing speed and starting to like them. Here comes Jolene. Clawed her way through the IFAR points during their chase and 2nd place in there. But at least with BPNR, she's just there. Hasn't really been doing much. And kind of just in one of those middle of the road drivers. But with so much experience, she should do well. That is a hard leg for the 34. I just jinxed her. I really just feel really bad. And that is heavy front damage for Griffith. Caution is back out. It is raced back to the start-finish line. D-Dog able to defend 2nd. Here comes Crawford for 3rd on the outside of LaPrade, and he's able to do so. 3 wide for 4th. Vinegron, Colrad, and Sims. Man, that's just a hard leg for Chloe, and man, I just feel bad for bringing her up, but given the speed that she was showing, I thought that she could be a really good threat towards the chase drivers. Looked like she got bumped from the ground again. A mid-corner bump draft gone wrong through the trial or the front straightaway. Yeah, man, it's the same wall that Den hits, just the caution prior. And 34 hard leg shoots back up the track. And that was really Gregory, the first to hit her. And McGarry is also on the grass trying to avoid it. And that likely means the 34 is out. Really unfortunate. But I haven't seen her drive in a good while. I know them from the prior name, but... In other news, Delaprad wins up the pit lane. There's the 34. She's just now pulling in with a huge cloud of smoke. And I don't suspect that car will return to the racetrack. And if it does, it's not going to be as fast as it was just 2 laps ago now. So Einstein Hunt stays out to inherit the lead, I believe. Yes. And I think Taha, I'm gonna look back at his stop actually, because he's up here. You see what he took. 1 pull. And yep, only right sides for the number 14. He is not afraid to dice up the strategy. And just been seeing him trying different things. Especially when we got quite a bit of a run, but not enough to necessarily warrant 4 tires. And 77 going to the rear for causing the yellow. Haven't been seeing that with this league, but it's good that they're opting for what's effectively an in-race claim system. Saw with Scarrett, we saw the 19 get a drive-through for the restart violation, and it also affects Negron in this case. And should be affecting everyone who causes trouble given the lack of racing we've had witnessed so far. So on 0 tires, Hunt will lead us from the outside lane against Dunlap-Pratt. Tyler Z's on 2 tires outside of Clements. D-Dog and Crawford, and his co-rod and Sims will go on board with Landolau on this restart, who lines up row 5 outside of Skylar Den with the rear end damage to their machine. Good jump in the 99, but up the road, the 65 of D-Dog got a much better start. Looks like they're 3 wide. Yes, they are. This is for the lead. The 49 already gets shuffled out line. Number 3 back to the front. And we gain a bunch of black flags. Those will be cleared sooner or later. Comes Clemens on the inside, trying to retake 2nd place, not able to do so. And narrowly gets into the opening. That would put him 3rd place, just ahead of Harry Crawford. And Clemens knows that he has to do well, and that means taking every opportunity to defend or attack, as you see him lunging it through 3 and 4 for the lead, side by side with the Pratt, but he's going to get a push from D-Dog, ruining that chance. But 16-point deficit heading in, he gotta try something against the regular season champion, and hasn't, and there's rarely any sign of weakness from LaPrade. Look at this, 11 podiums in 12 starts. So there is only one time this season he failed to finish on the podium, and that is the standard the other chase drivers had to look at. When there's no sign of weakness from LaPrade, it's going to be oddly very hard, if not impossible, to take the number 3's championship away. Trying to look back here, Aziz, who took 2 tires on the most recent caution, riding around 5th place, as the game dictates. Looking to be 6th place right now. Here comes Colrod, number 91, just shooting his way inside of Landon Lyle. Trying to get underneath Jolene, nearly 3 wide. The 06 chops him off. And again, the 92 just trying to keep himself side by side with LaPrade, hoping that the 65, which is a Toyota, he'll provide assistance to Clements, but doesn't seem he needs it. He's able to get the lead through 3 and 4. And there's this going to be final lap in the stage. Landon has his issues once more. He's up against the wall, but everyone avoids him very cleanly. So stage points on the line. It is a necessity through these chase drivers. And here goes Jolene. She wants some. And out of 4 is going to be Joshua Clements with a timely move to the lead, who gets himself 15 bonus points. It'll be Daniel Rodriguez 2nd, Jolene Sims in 3rd, Don LaPrade P4, and if I could find him, Tyler Aziz just narrowly gained 5th place. So that puts us halfway through the Kyle Busch 132. The third... Bleh, I can't speak. It'll be now completing 34 laps of the scheduled 66. So Clements has gained 12 points on LaPrade. That's a good hefty margin that is now just eviscerated for the number 3. Went into this chase 16 points above, and now it's dwindled down to just 4 as of now. And assuming this stands, the 92 should take the points lead. But as we finally gain a run in, it's likely just going to be a one-stop strategy. So the 92 isn't done just yet. He's gotta have to nail green flag pit stop as well as any pit stop that the team may need to do if there were to be a caution. He's gonna have to stay ahead of LaPrade, who is now up to 3rd place and gained by Jolene from the outside. Another driver who's really strong here, D-Dog. While he is suspended in the IFAR chase, he's hasn't caused any trouble in BPNR, and this is a really good racetrack for him. He finished runner-up here. In fact, this is the 1-2 from last season's race. Clements winning over Daniel Rodriguez. It'll be top 7 made up of chase drivers. The first non-chaser now is Rosa de la Cruz. We saw them spin earlier when they were in the top 5, but has since bounced back. And no amount of deficit could tarnish the number 60, it seems. As we do have 2 retirements, number 20 with the ignition issue and the 34 with the heavy crash, entering turn 1. I just looking at Jolene, but she saw what the 92 was able to do on the inside, able to take the lead away from LaPrade to win this stage. And she thinks she could do the same thing, just trying to get the lead for herself. And even if it's just to lead a single lap, which does provide bonus points, 2 of them, she could try to minimize the damage if she were to get a poor finish out of this, which so far hasn't been the case. She's been comfortably within the top 10 from what I've seen. Right now, she's still stuck side by side with Daniel Rodriguez, and she's the only car to make headway on the inside. But she's going to make it work. She moved up just in front of D-Dog, but he saw that and performed a crossover on the exit of 4, looking to defend his position. He's gonna go inside now. The roles have reversed. But alas, it's going to be Jolene who gets second. D-Dog demoted to third, but Sims isn't done. She wants the lead. And a 92 is going to let her go. Jolene Sims to the front, not yet. Wants to get a crossover. Just like Toyotas are always a step ahead. And Clement's back to being the captain of this ship, as everyone else remains single file. Scary claps the wall a little bit down the backstretch. Use a lunge from Carl Childress. But this was all for 16th place. And trying to fend up Brandon Carter had his troubles. Right now, just stuck in the trenches, I suppose. Shuffle back towards the front. We are within the pit window. 24 laps currently. Be 23 when they cross the line, so if they want new tires, they could do so, but may have to wait just a few more laps before we see green flag pit stops. Just everyone running around the top, but just has been the case for this track model for a good while. It has provided us good finishes, but when you're just trying to long laps, it gets a little annoying. You want to pass people, but you kinda can't when the outside is this dominant. So how do you make it work? We saw what Clemens was able to do, we saw what Jolene was able to do, but the other option is to pit early, which is what the 49 is doing. I mean, he's trying to do something different. Be the change you want to see in this world. Then that 06 gets sideways, trying to make a move on Clements, and she'll have to slot back in line of this Michigan train in the Irish Hills. And with the 49 pin, that prompted more drivers to come in. I saw the 99 calling in, yes he will. And 49 is angry now. He's not gonna have any draft help, which may put a detriment to this little experiment. Again, Clemens hasn't been able to win a race this season, and it oddly looks like this. He able to control the field for a good portion of the race, but just slips up when it matters most. Right now he hasn't signaled to pit, as the majority of the field opting to likely split it evenly down the middle. And like, they see what the 49 and 99 are trying to do, but if they build up a big enough deficit in between laps, so they may lose like 5 or 6 laps of time difference between the 49 speed and the 92 speed, but ultimately these drivers that are staying out are going to prevail because they can still be intact with each other, be draft partners, and close up to the 49 of Hunt and Lyle, number 99, before this is over. They got more than enough time to close in the gap, as here come the leaders. Got Clements, Sims, Rodriguez, Gibson, trying a bit sketchy move, trying to make a move on Crawford, entering the pit lane. Few of them opting to stay out, be Armstrong, Gonzalez, Scares, Truxell, and Rosa de la Cruz. Going to be 4 tires for everyone. See Tyler Z's pitting a lap earlier, got a bit of a gaggle here. Yeah, no mistakes whatsoever. So far, it is clean. The 92 remains in front. D-Dog moves up to second place. Steven Gibson, the biggest gain from what I've been able to see. Third within this queue. And Truxell inherits the lead, while Rosa and pretty much the rest of that 5-car gaggle that stayed out pitted this lap. Here comes the last lap, rather. In comes Truxell, surrendering that his lead. So the field's a little bit spread out, as pit stops shall tell us who gains the most, who gains the least. Or even worse, who doesn't gain at all. Roman has the lead. Clemens right now 6th place, 1 lap down, so 5 cars. I believe Roman's actually the last car to pit, so that'll put everyone back on a lead lap. And I think that's Troxel pitting again. He might have gotten a drive-through, unfortunately. They're trying to shuffle through. At the top 5 within this gaggle has bunched back up, then it is 3 cars that include LaPrade, Cole Rodriguez, and Tyler Aziz having to give chase. And just in a moment's time, they'll be able to tell where everyone cycles out, and I believe it has indeed cycled out. Cam McGill reads the tires, putting him the 3rd DNF of the day. But at the front, it remains Joshua Clements, Daniel Rodriguez 2nd place, Gibson at 3rd, Jolene Sims in P4, Harry Crawford 5th, Dylan Pratt P6, Cole Rodriguez 7th, Tyler Aziz P8, Angela Hans the first car to tip off this cycle in 9th, and Dylan Legrand top 10. But it's now 14 to go of the scheduled 66 laps at Michigan International Speedway. Right, if you're D-Dog, if you're just stuck in second place, but if you look into his mindset, he knows how to win from this position before. Like I said earlier, he came runner-up last season's race here, but he has won a DSRA race here at Michigan as well, same base model, and a photo finish, the closest one in that league, so he knows how to win around here. It's just a matter of time before he pounces on his dinner. Right now it's almost all Toyota at the top 5. Jolene Sims being the misnomer, and the Ford Mustang 4th place. And here comes the guy who's 3 from 4, and actually, what would be the battle for 9th. It's going to be... Actually... Okay. I thought my stream crashed for a second, I just had to double check, but... It's... So that brings everyone back into the fray now. But I do preface, this is still a track position race, so those pit stops were not just to remain within the draft, it is just to establish yourself for these final laps, and ultimately decides whether you get an easier time winning, or potentially winning the race, or if you're gonna have a difficult time trying to move up, especially when everyone has the same goals. But Crawford will be the first to bite as they hit 10 to go. And Crawford, the only driver on the inside line, trying to find a hole he could peek up with, but they just close up. So Crawford's gotta commit to running the bottom here. And these drivers pitted like roughly 5 to 10 laps ago now, so they can afford to use up their tires if they wish. But the biggest game is now it's overheating the right front. Yeah, just drivers pretty much complaining as he's being one of them. Just can't pass, which unfortunately, that's just it is what it is. I could say the same thing about a lot of the NR tracks, especially more recent ones. Excuse me. Crawford finally finds a slot, puts him back 6th place, pretty much not gaining any kind of track position. Clements continues to lead over D-Dog and Gibson. Osama has been quietly moving up also. Dunlap Pratt, your regular season champion. Now up to 5th. He was 7th place when they first caught the top 5. Again, we do not have a point of no return. The race can go into overtime if deemed necessary. Hence why the game and ticker says that it's 71 laps, but we're doing 66 laps. The 5 laps are just for overtime purposes, if we need them. Gibson with the tactical warp from 3rd. As we come to 5 to go. we saw Crawford try to move first, didn't work out for him, so this just gives more ammo to stay where you're at until the final 2 laps or so. Where if you're going to make a move, at least other people will be behind you trying a similar motion. And un un unlike slipping back, where that Crawford did, at least you got a draft partner on the inside, so you can keep the fight going a little bit longer. On board with Jolene, 4th in line. Just stuck behind Gibson currently. And 21 was able to lunge in through 3 and 4 and able to close up on the 65. Here comes Jolene, she'll be the first to bite. Within the 3 to go margin. When she's done waiting around. And I saw someone back there, that being Dylan Negron, looking to the inside of someone back there. Becoming the 2 to go. Will they all be cowards? Or one of them will prevail, being bold? 2 to go. The roles reversed. Jolene went back up to the train that is the outside lane. Here comes Gibson. Not able to make a move, but he damn near chopped off the 3. Just got a poor exit up 2. He'll move up to 4th. Crawford trying to pounce on that opportunity. Here, Jolene back to the inside. Not clear of D-Dog. So, back to 3rd she'll go. Final lap. 2 miles in the Irish Hills. When D-Dog knows how to win from this position, but it looks a little bit far. He's gonna have to send it deep. And Clemens knew this. He's going to block him. Just take the line away. They're nearly wrecking back there, but it's going to be Joshua Clemens. Opens up the chase with his first win of the season. Able to defend his Michigan crown in BPNR. And with that, he should close in, if not overtake, LaPrade in the championship. No better way to open up this edition of the BPNR Chase for the Cup. Ready, bro, go. Here he is. So we wait for the number 92, which, according to Troxel, when making this livery, it is a reference to Kyle Busch's only time in the 92 car or truck, either or. But regardless, the only time Kyle Busch utilized the number 92 as his racing number. But finally, after the sportsmanship the other drivers provide to Clements, he shall burn it down in front of Michigan, or he just can't park there, either or. Do something. don't think bro's doing anything. It's awkward. Well, if he's not going to do anything, well, it is what it is. Well, yeah, just checking. He's not gonna do anything. Unfortunately, the results got crapshooted, so rather than, yeah, he just, okay. Well, that was a waste of time. So, might as well look through the turkey timeline, because I have nothing in mind as well. Base card, just doing stuff. Always happens here. Lap 3, McGavies turns down in front of Gregory, and his secondary wreck includes Treywick and Carter. Sky then gets a piece of it. Now trigger caution number 1. And early damage is not what you want for a track like this. Got a big one down the back straightaway, lap number 7. Just trying to get things going on the first restart of the day. July Howell with the restart violation turns up in front of Landon Lau after the 50 bounces off the wall and causes this big one. Lap 13, 4th place at the time, Rosada Cruz spins out and doesn't hold a brake, clips at 50, who he goes around, but those were treated as 2 separate accidents. Trying to get going here. Lap 14 into 15. Scarra gives a bump to McGarry, shoots him back down in front of Gibson. 13 with a hard lick to the inside barrier. It just shoots back up the track, collects William Gregory. Troxel also gets a piece of it, just narrowly though. Roman Gonzalez spins out. Anyway, this has just been a chaotic first part of the race. Trying to move forward here because the pace car is doing silly stuff. Lap 24. Chloe Griffin's in there, return to BPNR, just gets a death wish out of a wreck. Got bump drafted by Nick Grun, shoots her towards the inside wall, the same one the 13 hits, and that takes her out of the race. Then from here, there was no yellow actually, so it just what it is wall for the 78s. Scarrett gets the wall, but I believe ultimately nothing else is to be looked at here. You never know what's gonna happen. Oh, that's a 78 of Dragons putting Carter in the wall. Did 101 just not having a good day? And nothing really. Actually, there was stuff in the final lap I'm gonna look at. But even above Crawford, rather. Yeah, just drivers getting a little bit too greedy, trying to make any kind of run out of turn 4, taking the checkered. It is what it is. Gibson and Crawford go for a slide, but Nick Grun and Bell, the only 2 drivers to wreck from this. But yeah, that was the race. Clemens ended up winning. Gets his first win of the season. And yeah, up to interviews now in just a couple seconds here. So, if you were waiting, I apologize, but time to actually bring them in. We'll start with our race winner.
User was moved to your channel.
Joshua Clements, do you got me?
Hello, how's it going?
Doing fine. Well, you took the lead, won the stage, and just remained in the lead, mostly unchallenged, but you do get finally your first win of the BPNR season.
Yeah, good timing. No better time to start winning races. So, happy to finally pick one up from my new boss, my savior, Thomas Troxel, who took me from the depths of whatever team I was on last season. So, thank him for an amazing car and amazing teammates of Harry and D Dog. Well, D Dog's a quasi teammate, but he was both very helpful in getting this win tonight.
Well, we saw quite a few challenges, as I alluded to. Got Jolene, got Don, just to name a couple. Was it just one of those Michigan races where the best way to defend it is from the top side?
Yeah, we should never let Solis make a track again. But yeah, Jolene was surprising me just how much she was able to run the bottom, and I felt like you could get one car, but then anymore it was just difficult. But she did a really good job to challenge me, and we went back and forth a little bit before, but it was just like I just needed to maintain a couple car length gap over D Dog, and I felt like I could just sit there. So um pretty straightforward. So that's probably why I won. But we'll take it. Good points day. Because I'll probably wreck in Talladega. So need to build whatever cushion I can.
Well, I was gonna bring up Talladega, but your lack of confidence pretty much says it for me. Does this race give you a little bit better practice for Talladega? If not, does anything from Saturday's race, when I far went to Talladega, carry over into next Tuesday?
Well, I learned everything not to do at Talladega and IFAR. So if I can just do everything differently, then maybe we can pick out a good result. We'll see how the track is. I'm hoping it's a little bit better track than what we had in IFAR, and then um make it a little bit more moves. But I need to work on my plate racing, so maybe that will be a task for myself for the next week.
And that'll be a task worth fulfilling. Congratulations on your race win tonight, and this should promote you to the points lead. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, and best wishes to the Bush family for the recent loss in the Kyle Busch Memorial Race. Honor to them.
User was moved out of your channel.
Alrighty then. Who to bring up? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I do not give a damn.
User was moved to your channel.
Thomas Troxel, do you got me?
Yes, I do. I can't believe you dragged me up here before the second place finisher, by the way. That's crazy. I wanted to come up with Josh to talk about how happy I am that he got his first win, but he's gone now. So.
Well, normally I would pick them up by whichever order y'all join the waiting room in, but I lost track of that, so oopsie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, as for your race, I'll be real, I kind of forgot where you were running, but I'm presuming you're just stuck in the trenches that is the pack racing of Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit worse than that. I mean, but you couldn't really pass at all on that track, and you could for like 3 laps on the bottom, and then it kind of just went away because the top gets all the cars, and then the runs just kind of always go to the top. I mean, Jolene was making it work really well on the bottom. Props to them for being the only driver that really made that bottom work the entire time. But no, I mean, Michigan just really isn't that good of a track, unfortunately. I mean, BR is a pretty all right version. It has its moments, but the one that we go to, the MB sucks now. It hasn't been good for a really long time, and hopefully we'll go to Auto Club next season as our 2-miler. But if we don't, I wouldn't be too surprised if we decide to go to 2-miler at all. We should go to Texas World instead. That probably put on a better race than what Michigan did today. But yeah, I mean, my race didn't go well. I mean, we qualified in 20th. We really didn't have the speed, but I don't really think single lap speed without draft really mattered at all. I mean, Jolene and Dunn qualified back there as well, and they still came up with good finishes. But we were coming through the field in the early part of the race, like the first 5 or so laps. We got up towards the top 10, and then that wreck on pit road aided me in blowing my second gear. And we started having bad restarts. And I think on the next restart, actually, I got involved in that crash, that 3-wide squeeze with Jelani, Joe, and Lyle, and got some hood damage trying to go to the bottom to avoid, and I just clipped the car. I apologize to him about that already, but kind of just didn't have speed after that. You know, you can't really pass anybody on this track to begin with. And then once we got back there and with the loss of second gear, we kind of just stayed back there for the entire race. Which sucks, but at least I beat Joe in the bracket. 23rd versus like 26th, I think, is where he finished. So, and we got a lap lead, and Josh gets his first win for the team. I'm really excited for him. It's been a long time coming for him. I'm really grateful to have a driver of his caliber on this team, and I think that's gonna. And Harry got 5th as well, so I think that's gonna skyrocket us into the team points lead. It's been a really good team points lead with Star Sport and Jelani Howell's team. Like, props to them for the battle that we put on this entire season. First win this season for the top 2 teams, by the way, in points, which is crazy that it took until the first race of the chase for either one of Star Sport or Seven Hills' drivers to win, considering all the good drivers that we have on both of our teams. But yeah, I'm just excited for Talladega. I hope it'll go well. We won there last season. Looking to defend a little bit. Trying to defend our victory there a little bit. Probably won't happen. Luck's been pretty horrible the last 3 months in NR, so. But, you know, hopefully we can continue to extend our points lead and help Josh and Harry get farther up there in the chase, since I'm not really fighting for anything besides the bracket. I don't know who even I'm going to be facing, so. But yeah, no, I mean, pretty piss poor race, but we can come away with the silver lining that both of our drivers finished in the top 5, and Josh got his first win for the team.
Well, that's a great way to open up the chase, and there's high expectation because, again, you brought up you really good there at Talladega last time, and I also bring up the holiday season because you had Harry Crawford win the championship over there, and you had a little bit of motif during the doubleheader championship finale at Talladega, so they high expectations for next Tuesday. Congratulations on surviving this race, I guess. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we'll take 23rd. And yeah, I completely forgot about the holiday season success that we had. Not to, like, downplay it at all, but, like, we don't have Cole this time, but I imagine Cole will still work with us. I mean, all the Toyotas are going to be working together, at least our 2 teams. We kind of have that little pack together, at least for the first part of the race. We'll try to work together, but hopefully it turns out for good finishes for both of our teams. So hopefully better for us, but I pray that I can kind of turn this pretty poor season around and hopefully come home with a good finish. Maybe even a win. A win would be pretty nice, but if I don't win, that's completely fine. I kind of want to have it go to either one of the 2 drivers I have in the chase right now. So yeah, thank you again for having me, and hopefully Talladega will be a little less boring. But knowing how IFAR went, and like every Talladega goes anymore, it probably won't be good. So
It probably won't, but at least you won't wheel spin.
Yeah, thank God. All right, well, yeah, you have a good one. Thanks for having me.
User disconnected from your channel.
And that leaves us with our runner-up finisher.
User was moved to your channel.
Daniel Rodriguez, do you got me?
Hello, what's good? Let me actually turn you up a bit. All right, that's really good. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, there we go. How we doing?
Doing fine. Well, for you, it's the same song, different season. You came runner-up to Clemens last season's race, and it ultimately becomes the same this season.
Yeah, I mean, I've been so good at these 2 Miller tracks, Fontana in Michigan specifically, and they always can. I can always rely on these 2 tracks to get a good points day, and and tonight was no different. Just sucks that I'm once again one this time I'm one spot short, but that's more or less the track. I mean, if I definitely could have, I definitely would have done something different, but knowing how the track was set up, there was just no way I would have been able to do anything. I was more or less just defending my position.
Well, you were making headway using the inside. Clements also brought up how Jolene was able to make the moves. How was your take on at least trying to make overtakes here at Michigan?
You have to time it right. That's really the name of the game. You have to time it right when the outside, when there's someone pushing, they let off for like just a smidge. You go to the inside, you time it right, you hit the gas at the right time, you move up, well, like a slide job, and then hopefully you don't kill someone that's the person that's like behind you, right? To make get the hole on the inside on that line. But yeah, just you can definitely make things work on the inside, but it is very difficult, and you have to basically timing's everything basically when you're trying to use the inside. And it was shown by Jolie. She was doing a great job keeping up the line, and that you're able to make it work. Just obviously most people can't, and that's all really about that.
Well, while you don't have Big Dimlink in this faith anymore, there still good amount of chance for the team, your team, through Talladega next Tuesday.
Yeah, Nikki's like it's more or less when he's available. That's more or less a thing with him. Hopefully Elaine does show up. I don't know if Elaine will be able to be there next week, but if we are able to show up, three with a three car, I know Salas is also technically a part of my team, but he's more or less just officiating, so we're more or less three cars. But if we're able to coalesce three cars at Talladega, apart and also not apart, but like as well as being able to work with Troxel, Star Sport, and those guys, we can definitely move our way up to the front. And like I said, or like last week, not last week, but a couple weeks back, these two races for me are the most important races. I already got one part of the job done, getting some really good points in this stage, and now it's Talladega also getting the job done, getting stage points, and putting myself in a good spot.
Well, Clements wasn't looking confident heading in. Troxel certainly feels a lot of expectations for his team, for both Clements and Crawford heading in. How would you go about this race knowing that pretty much the cards are stacked against you if the three cars, your two teammates, don't show up?
Uh, I can always rely on Troxel and Josh, those guys. They're more or less pseudo teammates. We've always worked well together. If I don't have my actual teammates, but it would be great to have them. Just gotta tell them and see if they're available for next week. But you know, sometimes they're not available. There's other stuff going on, and it is what it is. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you can have as many people as you want on your side, but ultimately there is only one winner.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your runner-up today at Michigan. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Good night.
User was moved out of your channel.
And with that, as interview's done, and I am tired as hell, so might as well wrap this up so I can eat. Tomorrow, BPNR D2 will go to Michigan, pretty much capping off the second half of the Kyle Busch week. That'll be streamed tomorrow. Thursday, CCRS back in swing, and they'll go to USA International Speedway for their short track events at 8:25. Friday is the usual suspects. Budweiser heads to Phoenix. They'll be streamed here. Gnarl has their season finale from Atlanta. They'll be not on Cheese with Me. That's a mistake on my end, as Zach won't be available. But the race will still occur at 10 p.m. And Essex continues their chase from Five Flag Speedway at 11:55. Talladega, the big and mean super speedway. This is the ultimate wild card. And unlike iFarber, they had their race the third round of the 5-race chase. This is only the second round, so at least you get a little bit more leverage heading in, but this is still going to be ultimately the big decider on how you scathed out this race and ultimately decide how your final 3 rounds go in terms of likelihood of winning this championship. But with that, that shall conclude the broadcast. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow will be Michigan again, so there's that. I do apologize if I'm not at my best today, just a little bit tired and frankly out of brain cells trying to put pieces together. But regardless, I do hope you enjoy, as well as just any other stream in general. So until tomorrow,